YTBC, what's the deal? So I'm on actually the LATimes.com, Los Angeles Times.com. I'll leave this story in the description box. You can read it for yourself. Come to your own surmise. But it says, Freddie Roach slams Teddy Atlas, says Timothy Bradley's no Floyd Mayweather. I agree with him. There's only one, Floyd Mayweather, man. I don't see anybody really resembling Floyd Mayweather at welterweight or any other weight really right now in boxing. So yeah, just Floyd's a much more defensively responsible guy than Timothy Bradley. His footwork's a little bit better. Just a better overall fighter. Although Bradley brings other elements to the table that Mayweather doesn't, that makes him probably a more exciting fighter to watch if you like action. And Bradley is tough as a fighter you'll ever want to see. So he brings other things to the table that Mayweather doesn't, in some aspects. But Roach and Atlas are going back and forth, I see, in the media. So let me just read some of the things from this article. Roach goes on to say, he says, I don't think there's a new and improved Tim Bradley. He says, I thought his last opponent stunk. The guy was out of shape. I didn't think Bradley looked any better than he ever has. Okay. He also, when asked about, the presence of Atlas, Roach also responded, so who is he? An announcer? I won't give him credit until he beats a legit fighter. Let's face it. You look at the guy he beat, fat and out of shape, and looked like he wanted to retire before the fight. Atlas has responded by saying, this was on the HBO video recently. He went on to say, I don't care what he thinks. Speaking of Roach, he says, I've been in the business for 40 years, longer than him. I'm more than a passenger, more than a guy going along with something I shouldn't go along with. That's what Teddy Atlas had to say. Then Roach went on to say he can never be Mayweather. No way, not even close. That kind of goes without saying. I don't think he's better than Mayweather either. But as far as Atlas and Roach going at it, now as far as Roach saying that his last opponent stunk and he's not going to give them credit until they beat a legit fighter, well, they've only been, been able to fight one guy, and that was Brandon Rios. And nobody was able to stop Brandon Rios. Now, we could say he was out of shape or whatever you want to say, or he didn't look good or, or whatever. But, hey, he had been out the ring for 10 months. He didn't look bad in the previous fight before that against Mike Alvarado. But he had been out for 10 months. But, Bradley was able to stop him, man. He was the first to do it. So I got to give him credit for that. Although Rios is probably, he fights with a style that would favor Bradley. But he got stopped, man, and I got to give Bradley credit for that. A lot of credit for that stoppage. But, if Tim Bradley was able to beat Manny Pacquiao, whether you thought he won the first fight or not, I'm talking about what's facts. The fact is he has a win over him. Now, he was able to do that without Teddy Atlas. So with the addition of Teddy Atlas, I think he will be able to do it again. It's very possible. And the things that Bradley is learning from Atlas is really helping him, man. Like I said, I've seen them do mid work. I've seen the way that Atlas, and I brought this up numerous times in different videos, but it's something that it caught my eye, man, is he's showing Bradley how to throw combinations when he turns and he pivots. He's not just teaching him how to counter, but how to counter with combinations, turning, pivoting, trying to get Pacquiao out of position to make him pay. But their whole relationship started a while ago, so Bradley has been wanting the help of Teddy Atlas. It all started on the radio show. Atlas was on a radio show with Wallace Matthews, and they were speaking to Tim Bradley about his fight with Jesse Vargas, how he escaped after damn nearly being knocked out. And on that radio show, Atlas asked Tim, he said, Tim, do you know what you got hit with? And Bradley's response was, no, could you tell me? And then the interview turned into damn near a brief training session. You know what I mean? And then Wallace Matthews ended up telling Atlas he's going to call you to ask you to train him. And Atlas, he dismissed the notion of him being his trainer. And then a few weeks later, Bradley calls him and he's training him. So Bradley wants to learn. The hunger for him to learn is still there. As long as he still wants to learn, he's going to learn something. It's when you shut off, you don't want to learn, and you know everything, and you've been here before, you've been a world champion. What else is there for you to learn? if the guy's really willing to learn and he wants to learn to that degree where he's getting coached over the phone, and he'd seen something like, damn, and really took that advice to heed, then hey, he's still learning. But I am a believer, sometimes when you get hit, you revert back to what you do best. But I guess this is an anomaly a little bit, because I think Brdaley really wants to learn, you know. So just getting this out there. Let me know your opinion on it. YTBC, I'm out.